A few weeks ago, I shared a video with you that revealed 9 attraction mind tricks that only players and bad boys use that women absolutely love. And one of these mind tricks got a lot of attention and a lot of use by viewers. So I got flooded with emails telling me things like what Benjamin said from Atlanta. Oh my God, Marni, that one mind trick where you told us to make a damaging admission just plain works like gold. So in today's video, I wanted to dive deeper into this phenomenon of why making a damaging admission works so well with women and why so many women respond the way they do once they hear a damaging admission from a man that they like. I'm also going to provide you with numerous examples of how to use this damaging admission with women so that you come out looking like a stud and not a dud. So keep watching and make sure to watch to the very end because I have a very special surprise for you. I'm Marni, and from here on out, I'm going to be your very own personal wing girl. And every week, I'm going to give you the no BS insider information about what women really want, plus instantly effective methods to win over any girl you like. So just hit that subscribe button now so you never miss a video, because that would be foolish. All right, so let's dive into how making a damaging admission can instantly make a girl more attracted to you. To really drive home the explanation, I want to share a story with you. And it's a short story, but it's really going to explain why making a damaging admission to women is an amazing attraction mind trick that you should be using in every interaction that you have with women. So this story is from a few years back, and it's about a girlfriend of mine who had recently divorced and was out at a neighbor's barbecue where she was introduced to a friend of theirs that was also recently divorced. And he was totally my friend's type. He was charming, he was confident, but not too confident. He was funny and a great conversationalist. And he was the first guy to make my friend feel like a woman again, and she found it very refreshing and him very refreshing. So AKA, she liked him and she wanted to know more. So they exchanged numbers and they arranged to go out the following weekend for drinks and for dinner. Cut to the date. And my friend calls me from the bathroom, almost in tears, saying, Marni, I don't know what happened. This guy was great last week. He was asking me questions, listening to what I had to say, and we were having fun. Now, he's totally a different person. He keeps bragging about things and just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and never asks me a question. What do I do? How do I get out of this? Okay, so this is where my years of being a wing girl to hundreds of thousands of men comes in handy if you are a female friend of mine, because I get guys. So I said to her, he's probably just nervous and has probably watched one too many videos from male experts that tell guys if there's silence on the date, then it's over. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back to that table. I want you to sit down and I want you to put your hand on his forearm, look him in the eye and smile. And this is going to indicate to him that you're in it and liking him. What I'm hoping will happen is that he will calm down because he realizes you like him from the smile and the touch of the arm, and he is going to relax and pay attention to you. So 3 hours later, I got a phone call from her saying, Marni, your voodoo magic worked. I did what you said, and he immediately changed how he was acting. We had a great time, and we just finished a 45-minute makeout session in the car. So thank you very much. And she ended up dating him for about, I think, 6 months after. So had she not talked to me, she would have ended it right after that date and potentially told a ton of other people in their community about what a bad date he was and that he was an awful listener and had a huge ego. So that's double damage for that guy. Now that guy and my friend were lucky in this situation. They had me to be their intermediate translator, which was their connector, if you will. But most women that you will date will not have a friend like me to help you out. They'll probably have a girlfriend who tells them to get the hell out of the restaurant and not look back, that you're a selfish jerk that will not change. That's why what I'm about to share in this video is so important. This guy could have done his own troubleshooting if he simply used the damaging admission attraction mind trick. If he were able to pick up on his own nervousness and admit that to my friend instead of trying to cover it all up by talking her ear off and not letting her get a word in, revealing his elephant could have totally transformed his date. So I don't want you ever going on a date and having a girl run to the bathroom to try to figure out how to get away from you. That's why learning how to properly share a damaging admission is essential for you. So here's a little refresher on what a damaging admission is, and then I'll explain how to use it. So just a little side note. You can see all other 8 attraction mind tricks after watching this video, and I'm going to include a link below. A damaging admission is done while interacting with a girl where you basically tell her something that does not paint you in a positive light, but that's in your control. So it could be something like a drunken mistake that you once made, something embarrassing or weird about yourself, or even the fact that just talking to her is making you really nervous. So for example, let's say you're at some social event or you're out somewhere and you've just started talking and speaking to this really cute girl. You could confidently tell her, wow, I don't think I've ever been so nervous when talking to someone. Now, as counterintuitive as this sounds, making a damaging admission like that one will actually make a girl like you instead of dislike you. Why? So there's 2 reasons why this happens. First, because it shows that seductive, carefree confidence. It shows that you don't care about her approval or disapproval, unlike most other guys out there. And second, it actually calms the girl and gives her permission to open up and be her true and perfect self with you. And it actually calms you too, which is when a real connection between you two can be formed. Now, you have to remember 2 things about making a damaging admission. Number 1, always do it in a confident, casual tone as if it's no big deal at all. And number 2, don't overdo it. If you overdo it and make too many damaging admissions, it just seems like you're a really insecure person, which is not attractive. You know that already. So I actually just recorded a podcast the other day with an amazing guest named Robbie Kramer, who actually uses damaging admissions as a tactic for his cold approaches with women. So women that he's meeting on the street randomly. But he calls them his play-by-plays, which I thought was a really cute way to think of damaging admissions. So let me give you his example of how he uses this, and then I'll tell you why it is so good. So he told me about this night where he and his buddy had just come from having a really yummy but very fishy meal and saw these cute girls on the street. His friend turned to him and said, I totally want to go talk to those girls, but I'm afraid I smell really fishy from our dinner, so I'm going to go get some gum, and then we can go and approach them. And when he came back with the gum, he turned to Robbie and said, so what should we open up with? And Robbie said, the truth. Let's go. So they went up to these 2 girls, and they confidently and cutely said this. Hey, we were walking by, and we were going to come hit on you, but then we realized that we smell like nasty fish, so we went to get some gum, and now we're back. Hi. And the girls instantly cracked up, and they started chatting and headed to 2 other venues and had a great evening with each other. So this is an example of a damaging admission that you can control, one that you have the full narrative control over, and it worked. It was cute, it was original, it was authentic, and they pulled it off perfectly. Another example to use when approaching is simply saying something like, hey, I saw you, and I had to risk embarrassing the hell out of myself to come over and meet you. Do you see how when you are in control of sharing this damaging information, how it doesn't come across as damaging, so damaging. It comes across as revealing and vulnerable and honest, which in today's world can be refreshing and sexy. And as I said before, I know so many guys are fearful of sharing this kind of information with women because they think it will get them labeled as creepy or obvious or needy. But in fact, it tends to have the opposite effect on women, whether these women are 20 or 40 or 60. My advice to you is to go and try this out. Go out and share a damaging admission to the women around you, or a woman you go on your next date with, or a woman you've been chatting with online, and see how they react. See what they do and say after you confidently reveal a piece of yourself to them. I promise you it's going to have the opposite effect that you think it will have and bring you closer together rather than push you farther away. Confidence like this is rarely seen, and for women, it's downright refreshing. Do you want to learn more ways to display confidence like this to women so that they have no choice but to feel a connection with you, a connection that can easily turn into attraction? Well, then I have something for you that you're going to absolutely love. I've put together a free 45-minute video that explains the 3 things you can do to instantly put a woman at ease while still sparking a strong sexual vibe. So click the link below in the description box to discover how to easily, naturally, and authentically attract the women you want, all by being you and without changing a single thing about you. It's funny how guys think girls are so complicated, but when you understand the simple and easy to implement strategies that this free 45-minute video will show you, you will quickly realize that you can naturally attract women without changing a single thing about you. You already have a sexy, attractive, magnetic man built right into you. You just have to learn how to unlock it to draw women to you like absolute magic. So go watch the free 45-minute video and unlock the best version of you that will attract the women you want. Go click the link in the description box, or I'm sure it's somewhere on this page that you can click, and you will watch the video now. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press that little bell that probably pops up so that you're notified every time I post a video. I'll see you next week.